In today's video, artificial intelligence will conduct an analysis and provide its prediction for the outcome of the final match of the Champions League between Manchester City and Inter Milan. My name is Illyrial, and I provide forecasts for sports events using advanced artificial intelligence technologies. In my previous video, I accurately predicted Sevilla's victory over Roma in the UEFA Europa League final. In today's review, I will analyze the readiness of both teams for the game. I will predict the winner of this match. I will also make a forecast for the exact score with which it will end. My project is not commercial, and there is no advertising on the channel, so if you like my prediction, please support the girl with a like and a subscription. And let's get started. So, the Champions League final will take place on June 10th at the Ataturk Olympic Stadium in Istanbul. Manchester City will play against Inter. Pep Guardiola, the coach of the citizens, is almost being congratulated on the treble in advance because Inter defeated Real Madrid. But my analysis suggests that it's not all that obvious. You all know what happens in sports to those who celebrate in advance. Yes, Manchester City has excellent chances, but things can still go wrong. And here's why. It's not to say that the players of Inter can just go out and relax. But if Simone Inzaghi and his team lose to such a Manchester City, no one will dare to criticize them, especially after humiliating Real Madrid. Inter has already reached the final of the UEFA Champions League and convincingly won the Milan derby in the semi-finals. However, Guardiola's situation is completely different. His club stands on the verge of winning its first ever Champions League title. It is never easy. Ask Chelsea, Tottenham, Atletico, and all the others who lost in finals under similar circumstances, including, by the way, the Manchester City from 2 years ago. In addition to the pressure on the club, Guardiola has personal problems. He has been trying for 12 years to figure out how to win the Champions League without Lionel Messi, and nothing has worked. We'll talk about how City specifically failed in a moment, but there is a persistent feeling that Pep always crumbles in crucial moments and loses to underdogs. Not the curse of Bella Gutman, but still not great. Guardiola is definitely a genius over the long term. And there is no better example of that than how Man City became the champion of the Premier League in 22/23. They had enough stability to withstand all the pressure, even with the advantage Arsenal had. And Liverpool would have won a couple of extra championships for sure if any other club, except City, had been competing with them. But in knockout matches, Pep regularly falters. And he knows it. It's an excellent background to make mistakes, isn't it? Inter's counterattacks are more dangerous than Real Madrid's. Let's remember once again how Manchester City's furious pressing ruthlessly dismantled Real Madrid's game. A team that dominates in 90% of matches was not ready for such a situation and didn't know how to get out of defense. It was an exemplary match from Pep and his boys. Just wow. But Inter is not that case. Inzaghi is well known for his counterattacks, and if his team excels at anything, it's getting out of defense. Moreover, the top tool to withstand City's pressure starts right from the goalkeeper position. Andre Onana is the best goalkeeper in this Champions League, not only in terms of the number of saves, although he leads in that regard. Onana is excellent with his feet and delivers precise passes, perhaps even better than Ederson. And in the center of defense, there are no weak links either. Bottoni has an excellent first pass and often supports the attack independently. Darmian has been solid as a fullback and possesses all the necessary technique, while Acerbi simply doesn't get nervous. Further, there is an excellent midfield, once again, with the capable Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who can deliver a pass at any distance, and two outstanding midfielders in the form of Henrikh Mkhitaryan and especially Nicolo Barella, each of whom can be replaced by Marcelo Brozovic at any moment. In the attack, there is a classic big-small partnership with the ultra-fast Lautaro Martinez and the immortal Edin Dzeko. Either of them can receive a cross from the flank at any moment from Federico Di Marco, who perhaps possesses the best crossing technique among the fullbacks in the tournament. Inter is literally built for quick transitions from defense and moments where one successful long pass can make all the difference. Personally, Guardiola's lineup is much stronger than Inzaghi's, but Simone has everything to avoid the mistakes of Real and take advantage of tactical gifts from Pep, if any are planned. Inter is not a joke but a quite dangerous opponent. And we haven't even started talking about set pieces, where they have Calhanoglu. Most likely, we can expect a gritty, tight match with Inter adopting a wait-and-see approach, but even one mistake from City could be enough. And they certainly have the capacity for that. Guardiola undermines himself with experiments. The actual extent of his anxiety disorders can only be imagined. But we are well acquainted with the results every time Guardiola faces an important match. He starts playing around with experiments and ends up outplaying himself rather than the opponent. Just remember a couple of recent examples. In 2019, Man City entered the first leg of the semi-finals against Tottenham without key players. Vincent Kompany, Kevin De Bruyne, and Leroy Sane were left on the bench, even though none of them were injured. Son Heung-min scored the only goal, giving Tottenham an advantage in the second leg, while City missed the final. In 2020, things got even more amusing. Manchester City knocked out Real in the round of 16 only to comfortably lose to Lyon in the quarterfinals. Specifically for this match, Pep changed the defensive quartet to a trio, with Fernandinho playing out of position and an inexperienced Eric Garcia as the second centre-back. It was probably interesting to watch this embarrassment through the eyes of Kyle Walker and Joao Cancelo, whom Guardiola inexplicably sacrificed. Even the final against a not-so-powerful Chelsea followed the same script. Guardiola locked himself in the chambers of his mind, pondered for a long time, and if he had hair, he would surely have emerged with a disheveled hairstyle. This time, he decided to leave out the attackers, minus Aguero and Jesus, and midfielders, minus Fernandinho and Rodri, the best gift he could have given to Chelsea. Although on paper, the scheme surely looked perfect. However, my analysis suggests that Manchester City will be the favorite in this confrontation. Inter Milan is undoubtedly a top football club, but in the current season, financial constraints and managerial problems have cornered the team. Inzaghi has done everything possible in this situation, which has yielded certain results. However, miracles do not happen, and it is unlikely that the somewhat crisis-ridden Inter will be able to overcome Manchester City, especially when the coveted trophy is just a step away. Therefore, my prediction is a confident victory for Manchester City with a score of 3-1. And if you want to hear a prediction for a match that interests you, write the participants, date of the match, and the league in the comments below the video. I will definitely share the prediction with all my subscribers, and for the most popular matches, I will create a separate video review. Thank you for your attention.